Every human being in every country, in every culture, there's three of them, of why we choose the money patterns we do. Now, you don't actively choose these. If you recall from some of my videos, and I certainly dive deeper on other ones, that there are two operating systems going on in this noodle of yours. One is your conscious mind, and the other one is your subconscious mind. So I need you to take a look at and realize that from Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I talk about this in his book, The Biology Belief. He is a biologist. Our subconscious mind, the information coming from our amygdala, actually is 95% of the response that we have to the external world. Now, we can either choose to respond to the world, but most of the time when it's coming from this subconscious mind, it's a reaction from the world around us. Everybody, what is going on? Today we are going to talk about the energy of money. Why? Because I am here to say that my industry is actually starting to get it. And I am super stoked about that. So I want to help energize more of the education and more of the knowledge that we collectively around the world need to truly understand and embody, that our money has energy too. So don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I am going to help you get to a life that you absolutely love, because you deserve it. You've worked hard, you're rocking and rolling, and it's time for you to actually embody that contentment and that happiness and that joy that you have been searching for your entire life. And until we start to understand that everything is energy, including our money, you're not going to get there. So this is the basis and the crux of it all. You know, I always used to say that we bring humanity back into finance at my firm, JMC Wealth Management. And in the books that I've written, The Emotion Behind Money, Awaken Your Wealth, and my third one's about to come out. And stay tuned. I'm not going to give you the title just yet because we're going to wait till it's out. But when I was talking to these other professionals today about the energy of money, I wanted to share some of the points that were brought up, because what we don't realize is that it goes so deep into the fact of every human being. I don't care what age you are, how old or how young. I don't care what culture you're from. I don't care what country you're from. I mean, I do care, but it doesn't matter what culture you're from or country you're from. That, first of all, we all put our pants on the exact same way. And energy is energy. Einstein proved it. E equals MC squared. And when we start to take a look at how the energy of our money may or may not get you to a life that you love, it's because you're not funding the intentions of what you want to create. We're kind of stuck in this lifestyle that every human being in every country, in every culture, there's three of them, of why we choose the money patterns we do. Now, you don't actively choose these. If you recall from some of my videos, and I certainly dive deeper on other ones, that there are two operating systems going on in this noodle of yours. One is your conscious mind, and the other one is your subconscious mind. So I need you to take a look at and realize that from Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I talk about this in his book, The Biology Belief. He is a biologist. Our subconscious mind, the information coming from our amygdala, actually is 95% of the response that we have to the external world. Now, we can either choose to respond to the world, but most of the time when it's coming from this subconscious mind, it's a reaction from the world around us. This is where we create, in this reaction, a financial world that we actually don't want to have. And we don't even realize what the difference is between a reaction and a response. Let me give an example. There are so many people around the world, and I actually don't care how much money you have or how little you have. This happens to everybody because we don't have enough financial space to actually move through our patterning. And those three things of where our patterning, where we are responding from in that subconscious mind, is that we don't feel like we're enough, we don't feel worthy, and we don't feel loved. Hence the reactivity. So when we can understand that the energy of our reaction, the emotional reaction, and Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself and Creating a Whole New Mind, proves all this, right? So by all means, if you are like me and you're a left brainer and you need to go see the research, guess what? These two guys, Bruce Lipton and Dr. Joe Dispenza, have the research on this. When your emotional reaction, they can measure that actually in the megahertz of what it is that you are actually vibrating at, because your emotions are energy. And those emotions actually trap you into a lack of freedom. And so, how does that actually show up in the world? So, let me dig a little deeper here for you, okay? It shows up in the fact that if you have an emotional reaction and you go on a spending spree, you don't use the cash or, oh, that's right. We typically don't have the cash, right? We're using credit cards. So we go, whoop, we just slide that card and we go, oh, we'll figure that out later. Because you're having a spending emotional reaction that now creates financial past that is a lead balloon, shackles that are like clinched to your ankles. And then it traps you from creating the life that you really want, because you spend your time here in the present moment, which is money going into your checking account and going out from an expense standpoint, paying for all of your past, instead of the money that comes in the present moment actually creating the future that you want to create. Do you see how we get trapped? And it's all based on how we react to the world, not how we actually respond to the world. So now, why is it that we react and don't respond? Well, to start to interrupt some of this process of how the energy of your money is actually doing things, is we have to create that space. So the number one place that you have to create space for yourself is in your nervous system. And you might sit there and say, Jewel, the energy of money, and how in the hell does that have anything to do with my nervous system? Everything. I'm here to tell you it has 100% everything to do with your money. Why? Right? Okay. Well, it's because of the fact that your nervous system is what causes you to react. It's what's connected to your subconscious mind, right? Your whole spinal cord. We as human beings, every one of us that put our pants on the same way, no matter how little or how much money you have, we all do the exact same thing. When you can create space in your nervous system, then you actually, the result of that is that you will be able to then create space in your cash flows. You will then be able to create space in your family life, in your work life. But until you calm your nervous system, you cannot move from a place of reactivity to responding. So you go from your subconscious mind in reactivity to your conscious mind in your responding. So the first step that I always walk people through is, and this is how you kind of grab hold of your energy of your money, is that you actually dream the new dream, right? I get people to start, I want to interrupt that system. I kept watching year after year after year. People would sit there and they would pay down their credit card debt and jack it back up, pay down their credit card debt, jack it up. They pay down their house and then they buy a bigger house, and then they pay off their car and then they buy a more expensive car. It's like we do this pattern that, for better or for worse, the Western world has taught more to everybody else around the world. So now everybody is following this pattern around the world in their own form of this. And we're getting trapped. And so when we start to create this space to where we can say, okay, get off the treadmill of life and have everything coming in the door pay for everything that you've already committed to. And now start to create the space of saying, I want to get off this treadmill and I want to start to make conscious choices. And the way to make conscious choices is that you have to dream the new dream, because you want to energize what you want to create with your money, because your money is energy. So if we go back to our emotions, and I know this might be, you're going, Jewel, what are you talking about? Bear with me here, okay? Bear with me. If you're vibrating at the emotion of frustration, anger, sadness, think about it from, you're frustrated in your marriage. You want to get a divorce. You keep fighting. You're at this lower vibration. Guess what happens? When we react in those ways, we actually poke a hole in our energetic field that creates a financial leaky container that half the money then goes out the door to your spouse because half of it's theirs and half of it's yours. That's a great example of how it shows up in our life. It can also work the opposite way. It can be that, oh, if you plug the hole in what's going on in your relationship and you have enough space in your nervous system to start to work through these things, whether you stay married or not, you can expand through that experience as opposed to deplete yourself through that experience. Financially speaking, I've seen it 100 times over again. So I want you to take from this video to start to truly recognize that it is no joke that money is energy. And then if you start to realize how you are energizing your money, and comment below. Happy to respond to anything of how are you choosing to energize your intentions with your money to get you to a life that you love, as opposed to reacting and then having spending hangovers and having other decision hangovers financially that in hindsight you wish you didn't do. I hope that was super helpful about the energy of money, because it is all correlated and we're all connected energetically. So let's just say from this video, 1,000, 2,000 of you get it. Well, guess what? You just made it easier for then the next people to watch this video, because we are all energetically connected. You will be breaking barriers and breaking down about going inside and figuring out your energy behind your money, and then choosing to energize what you want to create. So if you do your work on the inside, it makes it that much easier for the next person to do their work in the inside, because you've broken through some energetic barriers. Because remember, Einstein proved it. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It only changes form. So how do you want to show up in the world, and what do you want to energize with your money? Don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell, because I will help you to get to a life that you love. And don't forget, awakenyourwealthbook.com. I'm giving away my book for free. You just have to pay for the shipping, and I will help you get to a life that you love. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.